couples director, quirky couple, and quintessential parents. Don and Lynn have modeled not only to their family, but also to community on how to sustain a godly relationship even in adverse circumstances. This is their story. Don and Lynn are chosen. What's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining us, all of you who are in YouTube land. Welcome to episode 5 of Chosen. Some of you are probably saying, what? Chosen? Well, we're basing it on John 15, where Jesus said, "You did not choose me, but I chose you that you may bear fruit, and that fruit will remain." Today, we have a chosen, not individual, but we have a chosen couple. And they head the couples ministries in Faithful Living Lorton, and they've been doing this for a significant amount of years. I've lost count, but I just want to let you know that all throughout the years when you were doing couples ministry, not only were you directly impacting the lives of the people through the seminars and the conferences, the last Zoom meeting, but just looking at the both of you from a distance, from afar. A lot of people are being impacted not only by your marriage, but also by your family and also by your relationship. You are chosen. And I know that a lot of people who already know you probably know your story, but there are some people who are interested and they're also curious as to how this journey began. And so we're going to first start. Well, number one, thank you, Don, Brother Don. Thank you, Sister Lynn, for actually accepting the invitation to finally be a part of this chosen interview.
By us.
Yes. And and God has to say, why not, right?
Mm-hmm.
God has just like what we have heard today in the message, has a reason for every season. And I believe that you are seasoned now to share your story. And one of the things that I personally would like to know, and I'm sure a lot of people also would like to know, is how did you guys meet? When was that?
I remember she came in Virginia, 1996. I work in the nation's capital archives, and I guess she was invited by her cousin, which is my boss. That's where I met her.
I didn't know
First
that
time.
Tita Emo was your cousin.
Oh, she was my cousin, yeah.
Wow.
First
Wow.
cousin.
Wilma.
First cousin. Okay.
First cousin.
All right. Uh-huh.
And even before that, she was telling me, Don, I have a cousin who's coming over in Virginia. She's in Chicago. She's gonna come here and probably work with us. As far as I remember, that's the first time I met her.
It's amazing that the place of employment can also be ultimately the place of engagement. And so, lo and behold, you see Sister Lynn come into National Archives. So that's how you guys met. Who made the
Yeah.
first move?
First time. Well,
Yeah.
he said, you know what, when I saw you that day at the archives, I said, if I was only given a chance, in Tagalog, mabigyan lang ako ng pagkakataon. He said that. He said that to me.
I don't even remember that, but I think it's coming back now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, he said he can't remember. I
Right,
said, where
yeah.
will I get that? I said, I cannot, just come up with
She
that.
said I mentioned it to her.
Yeah,
Okay.
he mentioned that to me, and then he said, you know what? I'm glad that this is the chance that we can talk, because when I saw you at the archives, I said, I was only given a chance to talk to her or, meet her, have time with her.
I'll make my move.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And tell me, how was that move? What was your first move? How did you ask her out?
Pastor, be honest, I really don't remember. But
I'm sure it's going to come back.
I saw her,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I said, oh, I like her.
Mm.
I definitely remember that.
Did you know that she was the one at that time when you first saw her?
Well,
Was it love at first sight?
No, not really. I'll be honest, yeah, not really.
Okay.
But I know I like her.
Okay.
First time I saw her.
All right. How did it lead to a more serious relationship beyond friendship? How did that happen?
You didn't work in archives the first time you came here,
No.
right? You didn't work. My first move was when she was working somewhere else. I asked her to if I can pick her up
Okay. All right.
because of course, she just came here. She doesn't have a
Just to
car.
pick her up. Just to.
She doesn't have a car or ride.
Okay.
So
And what did you
that
say?
that was my first move.
Yeah.
So it was so nice of him,
Yeah.
knowing that he knows that I don't have a ride.
Mm-hmm.
So after 4:30, he gets off. I work, and then I gotta get off at 11 or 12 midnight. So he knows that I walk from where I live. I walk. I guess I don't know if how many miles, but when he knew that I was walking at night by myself, I guess it was kind enough to offer. So he did that every time I get off. So after work, he picks me up, and then he sees me mopping the floor, cleaning the tables. So this is my kind of wife, mopping the floor, marunong sa bahay. But no, I don't know, that's what he told me. That's part of his joke that, what did you like about me? And then he said, yeah, kasi I saw you mopping the floor, cleaning the doors.
You were such a natural when they were doing that. You
Oh
did
yeah, I
it with so
didn't
much
even know that he was waiting outside already.
observing you,
Yeah.
watching you clean it with style
Yeah.
and grace. Yes. Wow.
Yeah, I'm working, and then he just drops me off. It started from there, and then
As you can see, Pastor, there's no courting going on.
Yeah.
I just pick her up, and
Yeah.
just like she said, I
Yeah.
just drop her off.
Yes. And eventually something developed from that picking up and dropping off.
when he drops me off, there was one day he visited me at the apartment. This is from another apartment, the different place now. Oh, by the way, that time he already knew that I have AJ and Johanna. So he
That's good
didn't
to
know
know.
what he's, he already knew
How
that.
old were they, AJ, Johanna?
I left Johanna when she was a year and a half, and then AJ was 3 years old.
So you
So
know that
he
she was a
knew.
single mom.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah.
He knew ever since.
Even before she came here,
Oh,
I
you-
knew.
you
I
knew.
never,
because,
yeah.
like I said, my boss.
Yes.
We were not that boss.
Yes.
Filipinos, we're close.
Right.
So she mentioned
Mhm.
that I have a cousin who's got 2 daughters, single mom,
Yeah.
that she's coming over. Oh yeah, I have an idea.
And of course, that
So-
that did not deter you because you saw the
No,
beauty.
because like
in
I
the way that she
said,
was
when
cleaning.
the first time I saw her, oh, I like her.
Mm.
I didn't think about the kid, your
Yeah.
past.
What did you see? What was going through your mind the first time you saw him? And when you were
Well, I
picking
saw him. I
Yeah,
saw
that's
him.
the man, I guess. Just kidding.
Uh-huh.
He's very humble when I
Wow.
saw him. I saw his humility, the
Mm.
way he speaks. There's meekness
Mm.
in him at that time. At that time. That time.
There-
And then when one day he dropped me off at the apartment, I was telling about AJ and Johanna.
Mhm.
I was crying,
Mm.
and then he was crying.
Mm.
And then I said, why are you crying? And then he just said in Tagalog, naawa kasi ako sa iyo. Naawa ako sa mga bata. That's what he said. And
Who
then,
started crying first? Him?
I don't know if you remember that day.
Not really. I don't
Yeah.
even.
Yeah, I remember that. He was
Wow.
crying.
Yeah.
He was crying.
No.
He was crying because I feel for you. I feel
Yeah.
for the kids.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And how long, did it take from, that time for you to seriously pop the question and propose to her? How long was that?
That's the question. That was really quick.
Yeah.
You want to answer that?
Backstory.
Mhm.
That December, he went home. AJ and Johanna never met their father. So they never met them. They never knew. The only dad that they can call is my brother, who is Arnold. There was one day, I need to share this story.
Mhm.
There was one day, Arnold, my brother, was dropping off AJ at
Mhm.
school. And then AJ said, Tito, bakit sila may daddy? Ako wala.
Mm.
And then my brother said, okay, from now on, you're gonna call me daddy. So that's why they call Arnold daddy. That's why Papa Don became Papa Don, because
Arnold is daddy.
Arnold is daddy. And then
To this very day?
yes,
Uh-huh,
they call him
okay,
daddy.
Yeah.
And then December he went home, he visited. That's his first time visiting his family. And then he visited my family, especially AJ and Johanna. That's where they first met. Ever since they call him Papa Don already. I don't know if why did they call you Papa Don? Did you ask them to call you Papa Don?
Even before you got married?
Yes, this was
Wow. So they were already claiming you as a father.
Sounds like.
I see. I like this guy. I'm gonna call him Papa. Big
Yeah.
Papa. Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I think I remember we already had in relation when I went home.
Mhm. And I guess you could say that that was like a sign that not only did you like her, you like her kids, and you like maybe the possibility of maybe one day you living a life together with her, right? And so that brings us to the question: how did that come about?
well,
Yeah.
when he came back,
Yeah.
January, I popped the question. I popped the question.
That's why, like I told you.
Yes, viewers, you actually heard that.
I
She
popped
popped
the
the
question.
question. And there's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah,
right?
there's nothing wrong with that.
One of the things that we can learn about that is I've had situations where if the man doesn't do it, the woman will. If the man does not step up, the woman will, right? And
Okay.
mhm,
Yeah, there was a situation at that time that I told him we need to get married
mm,
because if not, I'm going to be kicked out of this country.
mm, mm,
But I'm not asking you to marry me just because of the papers.
got it.
But he said yes.
Mm.
So he's willing to do buy one, get two. So,
And for those of you who may not know, buy one get two. It's a blended family. Okay, all right. So
Yes,
she
I
gets
did
one.
say yes.
Mm. You actually got three. You got Sister Lynn, AJ, and Johan.
Yeah,
right?
so that's why my mom was really surprised. She didn't even mention to me that you're going to get married when you come back to US. And I didn't even know, Mom.
And
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I didn't even know when
Wow.
when I come back. Came back from the Philippines. I'm going to get married.
that was 24 years ago. Were you shocked when she asked you the question? Did you see it coming?
No, no, like I said, no.
You were
Pastor, no.
blindsided.
Yeah,
But of course, you cannot neglect the fact that you not only liked her but potentially loved her.
oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said yes.
Yes. Okay. Right.
yeah. There's like I'm paranoid. Does he really love me?
Mm.
Does he really love me because he needs to do that obligation
Yeah.
for me to help me?
Mm.
But then the Lord was really faithful
Mm.
ever since because the Lord did not allow him to petition me,
Mm.
but my employer did.
Mm.
It helped me in a way that okay, I don't have anything to have that hold that I won't feel guilty because he helped me with the papers. But then the Lord did a way also for me to have a papers with my employer.
Yeah.
And then he even picked the date. I said, when do you want to get married?
Mhm.
What's the date that you picked?
February 14th.
Wow. And you can't forget that date, right? Valentine's Day.
Yeah, he picked the
February
date. Yeah.
14th. Yeah. So next year you're going to be married for 25 years, silver
Yes.
anniversary. But were there moments where you saw that his love for you was tested, meaning that, you said that earlier that there were maybe some doubts whether he loves me, but were there moments where he really proved his love to
The fact that he accepted AJ and Johan.
you? Wow.
That alone. And then for him accepting me for not knowing my past. He didn't even ask me about my past. He just took me who I am. Like the Lord, come as you are. So
I was
like,
going to say that. Whatever you ask God in your life, God receives you as well. And doesn't insult your past. In fact, he erases your past with his blood and doesn't consider that anymore because your sins have been forgiven. And so we see the type of Jesus in the way that you have responded to that proposal, that, you never look back. You never, interrogated her. There you go. You never scrutinized her whatsoever. You accepted her just the way she was.
I always tell him I'm blessed because he's my Prince Charming. I always say that to the people.
Yeah.
My Prince Charming.
Wow. And can you say that she is your Cinderella or she is your princess bride?
Both.
Okay,
Yeah,
both.
both, yeah,
Well, all of the
both.
above.
Yeah, all of them.
Yes. Now let me ask you this as we go down to the journey. In every marriage, there's no marriage, of course, that is perfect, right? They said that there's no marriage that are made in heaven. However, we can have heaven here on earth. That's what it says in Matthew 6. Can you tell us, number one, the good in your 24 years of marriage? What have been the good moments in your marriage that you can share?
Ladies first.
Not only he adopted AJ and Johanna, but he gave me more three children.
Wow. And what are the
Joshua,
names?
Abby, and Chloe.
Chloe. 3.
Yes, 3 more.
So buy 1, get 2. Now it's 5.
Yes.
Wow.
And he's thankful that we stopped at 5.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because could have been more.
Yes, and that's her version. What about your version? What are the good moments that you can remember with Mr. Lynn?
I guess this marriage, Pastor, this is really the time that I had a relationship with the Lord. I guess they used AJ and Johan. He was a Christian. He's already a Christian back then. But you're not that active, or
I can say I'm a backslder then.
Backslider.
We can go through that
But
later.
because of AJ and Johan, of course, when we got married, AJ and Johan will be with us, right? So, definitely. And they came. So, she's got no choice to bring AJ and Johan to a Christian church.
Yes. Yes.
And of course, back then, I'm still, Catholic.
Yes.
But
At the time.
I really love God, right?
Mhm.
I just don't have a good relationship. Like I said, we got married, so I was thinking, this kind of marriage, I don't know, we go to a different church, I go to a different church. I thought that, ginamit yung marriage namin, that marriage used by God to be with me, to be closer to Him.
Wow.
More
Yeah.
and more.
Yeah.
Kasi, like I said, I was thinking, we'll be separated to go to a different church. And I even said that, how can you, replace that your religion to another church? You have the belief that you have. That's, I consider the best thing that, happened to in our marriage, to bringing me to closer to God.
Yeah. And before that actually happened, you mentioned that you backslid. When was the time that you actually started going back to the Lord? Where you started renewing your walk with God? When did that happen? Was that during the marriage, early part of the marriage?
When I came here, I know in my heart I already have Jesus in my heart. But then before I left, I didn't have the follow through. I wasn't connected to a church.
Right.
So
And
when
that's
I
so
went,
important. Be plugged in the church.
Yes.
Whatever church. Yes. Yes.
so when I went here, there's something in me that's longing, and I couldn't pinpoint. I couldn't. I don't know what.
Yeah.
But I have a daily bread, and I have a Bible.
Okay.
I have a daily bread that I always read. For some reason, I can't figure out why I want to read it. Okay? No one told me, hey, read your Bible. Because no one followed me through. So I read that every day, my daily bread. That came from Papa. It's a 365 daily bread.
And this is Papa Bond.
Yeah, Papa gave that to me. But we are still Catholic.
Okay.
They are still Catholic.
Yes.
But I got saved 1995
Okay.
of August. A month. Well, I went here April 1996.
So we're still a baby in 1996.
Yes. So
Okay.
I didn't have a follow through. But there's like, I don't know, for some reason,
A
there's
desire, a
yes,
longing.
to read this word. And then I don't pray the usual prayer. I just pray from the heart straight to Him.
Okay.
Then I was looking for a church.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a church. And every time I meet someone, it's all Catholics. I said, where are the so-called Christians or the born-again people? But and then I learned after so many years that some of our members are my friends before that, it's God's perfect time.
Wow.
That they did not invite me, that they
Yes.
did not mention
Like Sister
FFL.
Guy.
Yes.
So on and so forth.
Yes.
Hello, how are you?
Yes. When I got here and then we got married, I said, Lord, how can I parent AJ and Johanna with this life that I have? That I don't think I'm not really connected with you. Because I go with him to a Catholic church, but then there's something in me. So what I do, if we attend church in the morning, I go to Emmanuel by myself.
Yeah.
Because I found that. And then I went to World for the World. I know one day, there was one time, Pastor, I called you. Maybe you prayed for me when I called
Okay.
you. I just inquired.
Okay.
But at that time, since I'm a backslider, I don't know how to be connected. I'm shy. I don't know anyone there.
Right.
So I heard the Faith for Living. I called, and then you said something about Nova, your time.
Yeah.
But I didn't go. this is a more story. When my cousin, the co-worker of Sister Looney, mentioned that, hey, Looney, can you please help Lynn look for a babysitter?
Yes.
Because she has 4 kids. I already have Abby at that time.
Oh, wow.
So this was 2004.
4, yeah.
She said, can you help Lynn look for a stay-at-home nanny? For the meantime, for a couple of months. So she referred, Sister Looney referred Sister Leng.
Yeah.
Sister Leng introduced FFL.
Right.
And then I said,
She
oh,
goes
I
to-
know her. I know her. She's there. She's
Yeah,
there. So
right.
anyway,
Yeah.
I knew some people already, but I wasn't invited.
Yeah.
But it's God's perfect timing. And then Sister Leng really pushed me to attend.
Yeah.
Just attend Bible study, just attend the service.
Yeah.
And I still say no.
Yeah.
But going back, my sister Irene, she always sends me video,
Okay.
cassette tapes
Okay.
from CCF.
Yes.
I always listen to that. Parenting, marriage, I always listen to those preachings.
Yes.
Even if I wasn't connected at at church at that time,
Yeah.
I'm listening to messages.
Yes.
I'm hearing word already,
Yeah.
and I know the Lord used those
Right.
words, His word,
Yes.
the preachings that I'm listening to, that He led me to really pursue and attend a church or
Yes.
go to a church.
Right.
So when we were attending Noah for the first time, when we attended Noah for the first time, the anniversary,
Oh,
I
okay.
remember I
Wow.
was asked to sit in the front with the kids.
Okay.
Papa Don wasn't, he dropped us off.
Okay. I remember.
What he
that.
does
Yeah.
is he drops us off before he goes to the Catholic Church, he drops us off
Okay.
to Nova.
Yeah.
And then even, I believe Brother Rico and Brother Paul, hey bro, baba ka muna.
Yeah.
And then he would say, okay lang bro. So he
Yeah.
would leave.
Right. Right.
And then I even told him, I can't forget that. We were crossing Edsel, 95, the bridge, from Alexandria to the other side of Edsel. He said, hindi ko maintindihan sa inyo kung paano nyo na ipagpalit yung pagiging Katoliko nyo sa pagiging born again.
Wow.
Yeah, he said that.
Wow.
And then you know what I said, PF? And then I thank the Lord that's how I answered him. I said, babe, hindi mo maiintindihan ngayon. Pero in God's perfect time, maiintindihan mo.
Yeah.
And then he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And then fast forward.
Yeah. And that's the turnaround that I want to know. What was the turnaround? Because this was the husband who's dropping you off, waving you guys goodbye, and then questioning this Christianity thing that you and your kids were involved in, and then all of a sudden there was a turnaround. How did that happen? And what happened?
We had a very hard life back then.
Yes.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
they cook inside our
cook.
house. When he is sleeping, lay hands on him.
Yeah.